Welcome back to Nothing But Nets. I want to get into the Dennis Schroeder trade where the Nets got 3 first-round picks. No, they didn't. They got 3 second-round picks. So the Nets got 3 second-round picks and gave up Schroeder and the 2025 second from the Heat. I don't love the trade. It is what it is. It's okay value. I'd rather have not given up a first-round pick from this year, a second-round pick from this year, but they got so many picks this year. I suppose it's okay. They got 4 picks, probably end up being in the top 35 or so. If I was like 5 picks, that will end up being in the top 35 picks or so. So I mean, they're in good shape with that. I guess the 6th pick was a little bit overkill, and they'll have another pick next year in 28 and 29. But let's get into the other piece of the trade that's not getting a lot of talk. Reece Beekman also comes over in the deal, and we're gonna do a little scouting report on him. 6'1.5", 6'7" wingspan. So he's built exactly the same height and lengthwise as Schroeder. The difference is he's got about 25 pounds. He's 191 pounds. The Schroeder's about 167. So, think of someone built dimensionally wise, height and length like Schroeder, but with 25 extra pounds. Thick guy, strong guy. He's listed at 6'3". He was measured with no shoes on at 6'1.5". I don't know where they come up with these 6'3". They're 6'3" with sneakers, I guess. He's shorter, but he's got decent size, and he's a very strong defender. Better than average athleticism. I'd say he's a decent to above average athlete. Pretty good athlete. Good defender. Really good on the ball defender. He's going to mostly guard ones, but can switch off and guard 2 and 3 with his relatively long wingspan. But guarding the ball, on the ball, he's a terror. He's a really, really good on the ball defender. He can turn defense into offense. He'll hound you. He pops the ball loose. He's got a knack for the ball. He's got an eye for the ball. So far this year, he's only played 4 minutes at the NBA level, so everything I'm talking about is at the collegiate level. He's played just 4 minutes in the NBA right now. He scored 2 points, has 1 rebound, 1 assist in 2 games. He's played 2 games, total of 4 minutes. So it's not anything even worth mentioning. He's not a consistent shooter. His jump shot's really funky looking. He can knock it down. He knocked it down at a 32% clip in college, but it's funky. He was projected in most draft boards to go late second and was projected as to be a two-way guy. He went undrafted and signed by Golden State. Apparently, Sean Marks likes him a lot, and we know that Sean Marks tried to trade into the draft. He was unable to do so. Perhaps this was a guy that he was looking at. I don't know, but he's a 32% shooter from 3 in college. He can get it to go occasionally, but it's not a good-looking jump shot. And to be honest, I don't think he's ever going to be a good jump shooter. He's never going to be a consistent three-point shooter. But I'm not trying to write him off just yet. He doesn't play off the ball yet either. He's not a catch-and-shoot guy. He doesn't know how to catch and shoot. He's not going to come off picks. He doesn't play off the ball, and he's not a consistent shooter. Those are kind of the knocks on him. Those are kind of the flaws on him. At 6'1.5", he doesn't have great size. He doesn't have great height for a point guard. Those are the knocks on him. But he's a true point guard. He handles the ball really well. He's got good handles. He's got a really nice layup package. He can finish at the hole. Like I said, he's strong. He can get the bump. He can create the N1. He can finish at the hole. He can also get to the mid-range. He can get to the mid-range pretty nicely and get to a spot and drain a mid-range shot. He's got a nice little pull-up game off the dribble. He's got terrific body control. He's a terrific on-the-ball defender. He can turn defense into offense. He forces turnovers. He's got little spin moves. He's got little moves. Like he learned how to play the game in a little bit of an old school way. There's a little bit of old school to him. I don't want to say Mark Jackson, but get that kind of like that. I want that kind of thought in your head. Like he's athletic. Like he's got some above the rim ability. The early young Mark Jackson with a little bit more athleticism, but not as good as Mark Jackson. Like that's what I'm trying to build in. He handles the ball well. He's got good vision. He finds the open man. But most of his contributions offensively, he can get to the hole. He can finish. He can create space. He can pull up. He's got a decent pull-up game, but he can't really play off the ball. There's not much to him off the ball. So his game, he's going to come through being a backup point guard, but most of his contributions on the court are going to be made defensively, especially at the NBA level. This guy can defend. There's no question about it. The only question is, can he score enough to be an NBA point guard? That's a serious question. I don't know. If you ask for an NBA comp, a reasonable NBA comp might be Killian Hayes. Now, all reports are and he's 24. He just turned 24, so he's about 23. I'm sorry, he's 23. He just turned 23, so he's about the same age as Killian Hayes. What's the upside on this guy? He's a backup point guard. It looks like, could he find a niche for himself in the NBA? Maybe as a backup point guard. We're gonna see if he can score it all. If he can get some buckets out the hole, if he can hit an occasional open three, if he can develop a corner three, these things are possible. He said he's still young. He's 23. He's gonna have he has a chance. I'm not writing him off at all. He's a decent ball player. Most of his contributions are going to come defensively. He hounds you defensively. He pops the ball loose. He can intercept passes. He got a nose for the ball. He's got a knack for the ball. He can turn defense into offense. That's where his forte is. That's the kind of player that he is. He was a 4-year starter at Virginia. He was not on the national title team. That is so long ago. That makes me feel old, how long ago that team was. 2019. He's a 4-year starter, mostly. He didn't start all of the games his freshman year, but he started most of them. His scoring went up every year at Virginia, 4.7, 8.2, 9.5, and 14.3. 14.3 points a game his last year, 6.2 assists, and just 2.1 turnovers. So he had a 3-to-1 turnover to assist ratio throughout college. So he's a low turnover, high assist guy. He's a little bit of an old school guy. Can't really score, but he can get to the hole. He can dish it. He can defend. The 3-point shooting, 32% for his career. Here's the problem with the 3-point shooting. Freshman year, 24.3%. Okay, just disregard that. Then it went 34%, 35%, and then it dropped to 31% his senior year when he took the most threes. He took 3 threes a game and hit just one of them, up 0.9 out of 2.9 per game. So he's not a good shooter. I don't think he's ever going to be a consistent shooter, but he offers you enough and his jump shot's real funky. If they didn't fix it in college, they ain't going to fix it now. He's got some pros. He's got some cons. I could see what sort of Mark sees him. If it was me, I would much rather roll the dice with Ace Bailey, who's younger, who's more athletic, who's more versatile, who can score more. I would rather see Ace Bailey run the 1-2, but this guy's more of a pure point, and that's need a pure point. I don't think this is a long-term answer or anything like that, but in spots as a backup point guard, he can run. I talked to Pete from Nets fan, can he go in and run the point? And Pete's like, well, that's a lot to ask. Let's don't really have a point guard right now with Schroeder gone. So this guy can run the point, for sure. He can't score. As a non-scoring point guard myself, I feel this. Like I can see what is to like about him. I just don't know. His ceiling is probably a backup point guard in the NBA, a 15-minute a game guy if everything goes well for him. Not hating on him, just kind of giving a fair assessment of him. He's got some ability. Most of that's going to come on defense. He can handle the ball. He cannot blow you a game like a backup quarterback would, right? Just go in, manage the game. He can manage the game and defend pretty well. All right, let me know what you guys think. Leave your thoughts, comments all below. Please smash the like button. Appreciate y'all. It is December 15th, 2024 from Texas to the world. Thank you, and God bless.